Hey guys, welcome back. You're still tuned into Power Breakfast on CNBC TV 18, and let's now bring you the latest from the corporate world. EY honored the best business leaders at their annual Entrepreneur of the Year award. So JSW Group Sajjan Jindal was named the EY Entrepreneur of the Year, while Prestige Group's Irfan Razack was awarded Entrepreneur of the Year in the Energy, Real Estate and Infrastructure category. My colleagues Shilpa and Jude both caught up with the two leaders to get a sense of their outlook on the industry. So let's listen in to those conversations.
As far as steel demand is concerned, the government of India is spending so much money on infrastructure, spend on development, whether it's the railways, whether it's the highways, whether it's the housing, and everything needs steel. So therefore, steel is growing like crazy.
But I also have to ask, given the fact that exports from China have not seen as much reduction as they were initially projected, given the fact that the Chinese economy is reopening, things are getting back on track, does that pose some concern for Indian steel players?
No, not at all. Actually, China is, of course, China has this tendency that they tend to dump steel or dump their products into a country and kill their domestic industry, and then after that they tend to increase their prices. This is their traditional style of doing business. Our government is very, very proactive, and they ensure that whenever this kind of things happen, then they are very quick to implement some sort of restriction, some sort of anti-dumping. So therefore, I'm not concerned about China dumping steel into India.
Moving forward in the capex and expansion front, are we to assume everything is on track? Any changes expected going forward?
For JSW?
Yes, and also for the industry itself.
No, I think I would say that steel industry probably is an industry which is investing the most in capital expenditure. Probably, if you look at the different industries, I think the steel industry has the biggest capital expenditure plan going forward.
Where do you think that the key growth demand driver will lie in the Indian context?
It's across the industries, whether it is petrochemical, chemical, steel, cement. Every industry is seeing a double-digit growth. So this is quite phenomenal, including auto.
Yeah, and I have to ask you, in terms of real estate itself, there's been a massive rebound post-COVID, especially on the home sales front. Even commercial developers have been doing rather well. Do you think that with interest rates going up, you can continue to expect some momentum to be maintained there, which will in turn, supplement the demand for steel going forward?
So real estate, of course, is very sensitive to interest rate hikes. I hope that interest rates don't go up that much, which starts to hurt our growth as a country. Because for India, it is more important to grow than to worry about inflation.
It's again a focus. It's a solid focus, a belief, and then a proper plan. And I think if we look at the overall picture, we should see that this is our goal. Right. This is what you're going to focus on, and this is how we are going to do it. It's like any game or that you play. Right. You have to play to win, and right. I think Prestige, the team, is there to play to win, and that's how we are trying to win this year's target of 12,000. We almost reached very close to it, and I think we should surpass that.
Okay, wonderful. And you had an investor call where you had laid out some ambitious targets. Just if you could quickly run us through that on record for us also here, quickly and what is truly the goalpost that you're looking at?
Yes, we did have an analyst meet in Mumbai just a couple of days ago, and that was just to tell the analysts what we are doing, what the company is looking at, and they were all very, very curious to know what Prestige is up to in Mumbai. Are they really going to succeed? What are the types of projects they are going to do? So we felt it appropriate to have that analyst meet in one of our sites, and that we did that in our Prestige City site in Mulund, and it was truly an eye-opener for them. And we ran through the entire whatever the company is planning, because Prestige is just not a housing company. Prestige does housing. As let's see, many companies in real estate is either doing housing, or is doing retail malls, or is doing office, or is doing hospitality. Correct. But we are one company, or one of the very few companies which are doing all asset classes. So we said, let's at least speak this out. Let's take them, through the walk through the whole journey of what Prestige is up to. And we did set a target for 2026 of a top line of 25,000 crores of sales in housing. We said we'll reach a target of 2,500 crores annuity income in the next 5 years. And we also talked about X amount of keys in hospitality.
Right.
And we are building another 7 to 8 malls. Two are already, one is open, one is getting ready and will open in the next couple of months. And but there's a long line of retail malls across the country, and including Bengaluru, that's getting produced.
All right, those are two very interesting conversations. Both Sajjan Jindal and Irfan Razack saying that they're seeing very solid demand and that the outlook going forward definitely still looks very positive. But with that, let's also bring in an important update. US President Joe Biden has nominated Ajay Banga, the former CEO of MasterCard, to succeed David Malpass as the next president of the